Right now, 11 minutes of non-stop local news, your Weather Authority forecast, and SWX Sports. This is KHQ Local News 11 at 11.
Well, what a day it was. Hooptown, USA, quiet tonight as an amazing first day of Hoopfest 2019 comes to a close. Nike Center Court was packed all day as elite players from all over the world left it out on the floor. But the action didn't stop there. Good evening. Thank you for being with us tonight. I'm Patrick Erickson. The largest 3-on-3 tournament on the planet is about to get even bigger, with the Hooptown crew planning to make Spokane the best basketball city in the country. And today at Center Court, we got our first look at how that is going to happen. Multi-Care Health Systems, which operates the medical tents at Hoopfest, donated a $1 million check to Hoopfest to help bring their vision to life.
And we're just really excited to be partnering over the next 10 years to help enhance the health of this community through really healthy activity. Basketball's kind of the thing for Spokane, so Hooptown, and we're just excited to be partners in improving the health of this community.
So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build a signature basketball court, a monument to basketball in Riverfront Park. That's the big one. So that one's going to be, that's actually kind of already underway.
And just like you heard, the money will be used to help build that state-of-the-art outdoor basketball complex on the north side of Riverfront Park. And with the donation comes 10 more years of Multi-Care providing medical assistance at Hoopfest. Multi-Care Health Systems' main medical tent was upgraded from last year. It now houses an 80-inch digital screen they use to help track injuries. The first aid stations have already been hard at work this weekend. On the first day, players headed to the medical tents for a variety of reasons, from concussions to simply getting that ankle taped. Multi-Care treated a total of nearly 1,000 injuries on day one.
With this kind of weather, we'll see a lot of Achilles, we'll see a lot of ACL tears, hopefully not too many heat illnesses this weekend, which is fine by me, but otherwise it will be pretty average. But I can tell you that we've taped at least double what we did last year already.
A good idea. Aside from the Band-Aids and tape, they'll have a portable x-ray machine, so basically they're ready for almost anything, including fractures, which have been higher than usual, they tell us, with 40 so far on Saturday. Well, the weekend weather so far has been absolutely spectacular for Hoopfest this year. Sydney Stell joining us now in the Weather Center. Sydney, it sounds like players can expect even more perfect weather tomorrow.
Yeah, Mother Nature really showing off. That first week of summer was really active, and now we're starting to see beautiful temperatures for this weekend. You can compare today to tomorrow. We're going to see 85 degrees for that high versus 79 what we saw today. So it'll be a little warmer out there. We'll see a little bit less cloud cover. Yeah, so tomorrow should be a perfect day out there for basketball. Now let's take a quick look at current conditions outside. We're seeing 65 degrees. Winds fairly light. We're only looking for 8 miles per hour out of the southwest right now. A very calm and wonderful evening after a perfect day for basketball. Let's take a look at that sky tracker radar. You can see we are seeing a little bit of moisture move through the inland northwest, thankfully missing Spokane and Coeur d'Alene for Hoopfest, and of course Ironman tomorrow in Coeur d'Alene. So thankfully it's missing us here, but we are continuing to track a little bit of that moisture rolling through. Now low temperatures overnight will be into the 50s in Spokane, 52 degrees, 48 in Colville, 54 in Mittsville, and 57 in Walla Walla. We are tracking a gorgeous week ahead, and I'll have all those details coming up in my full forecast. Patrick?
Sydney, thank you. With day one now wrapped up, players are preparing for what and who the competition might bring on day two. Rob Jesselson joining us now, and it sounds like some notable names were out there in the crowd today.
Oh, there were a lot of notables, Patrick. We saw Rui Hachimura. Spokane Hoopfest is known to bring the community together, as we saw, and that stays true for the Gonzaga women's and men's basketball teams. Both squads were at Hoopfest 2019 today, and they love seeing what the event does for Spokane. Taylor Brooks tells us more.
We all know that Spokane Hoopfest brings people from all around the country to this very city on this weekend. But some people that are very familiar to Spokane would be the Gonzaga men's and women's basketball teams. I don't think that Coach Few or Coach Fortier would let their guys play in this game, but they still got to embrace everything Hoopfest this weekend.
It's pretty amazing. I don't think there's another place like this anywhere in the country, and so to be a part of that, it's pretty cool. Seeing everyone just, celebrating basketball. It's not like Hoopfest is. It's just a celebration of basketball. So it's pretty fun to be a part of that. See it, firsthand growing up, and so yeah, it's pretty amazing. It just proves that we've always said Gonzaga and Spokane's like Hoopfest city, or basketball city, and Hoopfest just proves that.
Yeah, I love it. It's the biggest 3-on-3 tournament in the world for a reason, and I came here and played as a kid, so I have a lot of good memories here, and just seeing everyone out uniting around basketball is really cool. A lot of hoopers, a lot of fans, and people who just love the game.
I hadn't heard of Hoopfest actually until I came out here, and I went the first time last year, and it was crazy. So many people and so many of our fans, coming up to us saying they're season ticket holders, knowing who you are, knowing a lot about you and where you're from, and it's just really cool to be able to interact with people, and especially our fans. They're awesome just to talk to and hang out with, and we don't always get to do that, so it's fun.
This is really the first time that the community has been able to see the men's and women's teams since their seasons ended. But Craziness in the Kennel did get announced this past week. That'll be on October 5th. And then FanFest for the women's team will be on October 12th. Reporting here at Nike Center Court, I'm Taylor Brooks for SWX.
All right, Taylor, thanks very much. Now coming up later on in sports, we'll have tons of highlights from day one of Hoopfest, plus hear from Rui Hachimura himself. Patrick?
I can't wait. Thanks, Rob. Well, the elite players aren't the only ones playing with a purpose this weekend. Many teams have great stories, and today KHQ's Joe McHale talked with one team who plays 3-on-3 for their number 4.
It's typical for each Hoopfest team to have 4 players, 3 on the court at one time, and then a substitute. But after a tragic death earlier this year, one team was left without their 4th player. But how they responded was bigger than basketball.
There's a lot at stake during Hoopfest, but one team is playing for so much more than a place on the podium.
It feels like he's with me, every day, and it feels even better to play Hoopfest for him.
Colin Sather lost his life after battling cancer in February. He was 19 years old.
He was the kid that made everyone smile, made them laugh whenever he could. If someone was having a hard day, he would do what he could to cheer him up.
A standout football player, Colin also excelled on the hardwood and on the pavement during Hoopfest weekend.
Colin was a strong dude. He was the best player on the court every time he played, but he would never talk about it.
Rashawn Lemery and his 2 teammates played alongside Colin during last year's Hoopfest. But this year, instead of finding a 4th, the team counted Colin in and gave him a spot on the roster and on the back of their jerseys.
His number was 3 at West Valley, so we wanted to keep 3 players. And, we wanted to honor him because even though he's not here physically, he's here in spirit.
As a mom, it makes me concerned that they don't get a break. I looked up the bracket by using my son's name, and that's how I did it every year. So to be able to do that again, that meant a lot.
The team would win their first game Saturday. Not one of the players getting a break, but they'll tell you they got a lot of help. In Spokane, Joe McHale, KHQ Local News.
Joe, thank you. If you can't make it down to watch in person, KHQ and SWX both have you covered. Our live coverage continues tomorrow morning with the Hoopfest Elite Championships airing live at 5:30 on SWX. And of course, we'll be back live from the courts tomorrow night, bringing you all the action right here on KHQ. Well, right now, a firefighter who got hurt battling a massive house fire in Airway Heights last night is back on the job. Paramedics evaluated him for exhaustion and cleared him. He actually went back to the scene to help. The fire destroyed a home and another building, but no one else was hurt. Firefighters finally cleared out around noon today, but they're still trying to figure out what started that fire. In a crime tracker alert tonight, a man from Okanagan is in the Spokane County Jail for trying to light an ATM on fire. 53-year-old Philip Lewis has 6 previous felonies, including a conviction last year for setting several fires along a trail west of Spokane. Police say the downtown precinct officers recognized him from his picture. They knew where to find him and safely took him into custody. Well, new now, the former home of Milford's Fish House will be getting a new identity. Sean O'Donnell's American Grill and Irish Pub, based over in Western Washington, just announced they're adding another location and moving into the empty building you see right there. Milford's was a Spokane staple for 40 years, as a lot of us know, and before they closed February of last year. O'Donnell says they plan on opening by September. All right, time for a quick break, but there's still much more ahead, including all things Hoopfest, as KHQ Local News 11 at 11 continues.